So yeah, what is that? What's 29 years
I mean,
ago?
it doesn't really matter. He could be talking. He could be talking
82?
in
82 if it's or 84.
84. Yeah, I think it's 84.
He could be talking in the 1950s.
But it
Yeah,
says
for all it
29
matters,
years
yeah.
ago from 2013.
Yeah, 84. 85.
85.
84.
Okay, so
Yeah.
imagine how accurate that is. Imagine that this guy nailed. First of all, he's talking about social justice back then. That was a term that really didn't make its way into the vernacular of the American public until about 10, 15 years ago. I mean, when you really started hearing social justice as a common term, like when was that?
Well, that was even more recent than 10 or 15 years ago.
Probably,
I think, for
right?
most people, yeah.
Let's just say 10.
Yeah.
So this is like we've resisted as long as we can. But we're fucked.
If not directly Marxist-Leninist propaganda, then a propaganda of legitimate aspirations of working class, betterment of life, equality. Equality, mind you. President Kennedy once said, we will make America to believe that people are born equal. Are people born equal? Is there any mentioning in the Bible or any other holy scripture in any religion, if you don't believe me, go to the library and check it. There is not a single word about equality. Just the opposite. By your deeds, God will judge you. What you do is important. The merit of your personality. You cannot legislate equality. If you want to be equal, you have to be equal. You have to deserve it. And yet we build our society on the principle of equality. We say people are equal. We know it is false. It's a lie. Some people are tall and stupid. Others are short, bold, and clever. If we make them equal by force, if we put the principle of equality in the basis of our socio-political structure, it's the same thing as building a house on sand. Sooner or later it will collapse, and that's exactly what happens. And we, as Soviet propaganda makers, are trying to push you in the direction which you go yourself. Equality, yes, equality. People are equal.
You know, I was watching this video on my favorite Twitter channel, Libs of TikTok, because it is insane, some of these fucking kids that are coming up through these universities that are saying these buzzwords and talking points as if they make sense, and they're talking about the destruction of the American civilization, like the destruction of the American country, that it needs to happen in order for people to be fair and free. And I'm like, and replace with what?
Yeah.
Like, this is the thing. It's like you have these shallow-minded, very narrow perspectives of what they would like to accomplish with no view whatsoever of what the future looks like. Whereas this guy, this KGB defector, is talking about this very long game that the KGB was playing with the United States.
Yeah.
We don't stop an enemy. We let him go. We help him to go in the direction we want them to go. Okay? So, on the stage of demoralization, obviously there are tendencies in each society, in each country, which are going to opposite direction from the basic moral values and principles. To take advantage of these movements, to capitalize on them, is the main purpose of the originator of subversion. So we have religion, we have education, we have social life, we have power structure, we have labor relations, unions, and finally we have law and order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? These are the areas of application of subversion. What it means exactly? In case of religion, destroy it, ridicule it, replace it with various sects, cults, which bring people's attention, faith, whether it is naive, primitive, doesn't really matter. As long as the basically accepted religious dogma is being slowly eroded and taken away from the supreme purpose of religion, to keep people in touch with the Supreme Being. That serves the purpose. Therefore, replace it, accepted, respected religious organizations with fake organizations. Distract people's attention from the real faith and attract them to various different faiths. Education. Distract them from learning something which is constructive, pragmatic, efficient. Instead of mathematics, physics, foreign languages, chemistry, teach them history of urban warfare, natural food, home economy, your sexuality, anything, as long as it takes you away.
You know, they're not the only ones, right? The Chinese intel service is actually much more patient than the Russians even. But what he's talking about, what Bezmenov's talking about in terms of active measures, you know, we might call in the U.S. we might call covert action campaign. It really is. Now he's lowballing the amount of resource they spend on actual, you know, intel operations and other things. But he's making a very important point, which is from their perspective, you get more bang for your buck from the active measures campaigns. Yeah. And we've been doing, you know, look, every intel service that's, you know, worth its weight is in a sense doing the same thing. You could argue that.
How do we do it? Like,
well,
what
you
do we
could
do
argue
with
that
China?
Voice of America is as an example. Right?
Fast and the Furious 9? Is that what they're doing with that?
Oh yeah. I mean, that's it's our movies, it's our blue jeans, it's our rock albums that destroyed the Soviet Union.